Okay, so I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Now, you guys might have seen this word before. It basically just means, let's say, a bus from Woodlands Depot, instead of running on its fixed, like scheduled service on service 913, it runs on service, let's say, 176 instead. So that is the definition of a cameo, like borrowing a bus from another service or a spare bus. However, the issue with Singapore's bus community is that it is so cameo emphasized to the point whereby, like, sometimes I kind of question whether you people even like buses in the first place, like whether you truly like buses or you are just using it for social media clout. So aside from cameo, another thing that's like popular amongst people is debut. So yeah, people generally go for cameos, bus debuts, and as well as, you know, when the buses no longer exist. So yeah, these are the three. So deregistration just means the bus has reached its end of lifespan, 17 years, in some cases 19 years. So bus enthusiasts, let's say this is like the whole 17 years of a bus's lifespan. Um, they don't care about the bus unless it's like at the debut stage, which is typically around a few months or so, but let's just say it's 1 year. And then when the bus is about to like end its lifespan, to reach the end of its lifespan, like let's say another 1 to 2 years. Now, I'm not good at math, but um, basically during this period of time, 17 minus 3, it's 14 years. So for 14 years, unless there is a cameo or a rare cameo, depending on the rarity, that doesn't really matter, people won't care about the bus or the bus model as a whole at all. And I'm like, a bus can exist for 17 years and people only care about it at the start and at the end. And during these 14 years, they're only using the bus like a cameo for social media clout. They come up with the most creative captions, they get loads of likes, and they repeat this process for like every single bus model that comes along the way. You guys remember that when this bus was about to deregister, it got like massive attention. Every single day, people were like asking on like cameo spottings, hey, where's the bus now? Where's the bus now? Any live locations and all? Okay, like this bus just happens to be more popular, that's why it got more attention, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I'm like, if this bus got so much attention, and if this bus got so much attention, like, why does nobody care about this bus at all? Nobody cared about this. I swear, nobody cared about this. And nobody cared about this until like, 2020, when the Voice were about to deregister, when the ZFs were still alive. Nobody cared. And it's the same for this one. The reason why I'm using this as a like, my thumbnail is to prove this point. This was the very last ZF unit, and nobody cared about it. They only cared like a little bit when the entire bus model is about to be wiped out. And I'm like, when this bus existed for like 17 years, from 2002 to 2005, where were you guys? You guys only document the cameos. Like seriously, nobody documented them when they are on their normal services, like their scheduled like fixed runs. Ah, and the worst part was that like when I nicely brought this up to the attention of the enthusiasts, I got scolded. I got scolded because they said, "Oh my gosh, for like the last 14 or 15 years, I've already taken this model so many times, and we should just move on and embrace the newer things with open arms. And this model, I've already enjoyed it, so why do I have to take it again?" That was like their excuse. And the thing is, around this period of time, it was like the Euro 6 double-decker buses from MAN A95, they were like debuting like the Euro 6s. And because of that bus model, every single one of them went to chase like every single cameo around this area. And no one else chased the Bendies, which, you know, they are about to deregister. You won't ever see them like IRL again. And you guys go for that stupid double decker. Like, do you guys even have your priorities right? So that basically that was the reason why people scolded me for it, even though I was telling them, hey, go and ride these buses before you won't have a chance to ride them anymore. And basically all they could do is throw insults such as, so many bendies dying. I mean, the fact that they even said things in this manner just shows that they only really care about their social media clout and truly do not care about buses. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. And I'm not in any way saying that the bus enthusiasts of the past, like the previous era, the previous generation, I'm not saying they were better. There were lots of fights in the community and stuff like that. But you could at least tell that back then it was way more genuine. People, they might fight with each other, but all of them, or at least like 90% of them, they truly loved buses. At least I can give it to them. Now, this model, it's Dennis Dart. It's kind of obscure. Not many people like knew about them because they only ran on like 42, 92. It was basically like, those M1, M2, M3, M4 services that serve like private estates with narrow roads. So yeah. But in like 2012 or 2013, it wasn't like a public bus, but it was a private bus. They actually held a tour on said private bus. It was the exact same model. I'm not sure if the specifications were the same, but at least people were more genuine. They actually cared about the bus. They actually documented the bus, regardless of whether it was like debut, in normal service, revenue service, or it was about to come to the end of lifespan. So yeah, and then in the past there was this also. This got a lot of attention and for good reason. This is a Nissan Diesel U31 RCN. And when I was young, I'm not sure if you guys remember City Shuttle Services. It was SSB and then rebranded to CSS. And I used to take this on like 608 a lot. And when I was really young, I also rode them on 605 as well. Now, this bus model, it didn't really get a lot of attention, but again, with good reason. This bus, it looks good. It looks good for a photo. It has a unique bodywork. But objectively speaking, this bus is utter crap. If you guys think the current Scanias, the KUB, is like it vibrates a lot, No, this thing was far worse. And this thing was really stuffy. Like the aircon was just really, really bad. So this bus in general, it looked good on the camera, but performance-wise, it was a disaster. And yeah, there's really not much to say about this, but at least people documented it when it was like about to retire. This one got quite decent attention as well. 876 and 877, they were the ZFs, and I think one of them ran on 195. I took it before. But unfortunately, back in the days, I had a curfew and my phone was crap. I didn't have a camera. I was, kind of poor. And I didn't have the chance to like document them even though I really wanted to. This one, Scania N113CRB, also got a lot of attention. This bus was really good for the 90s era, and the 90s era is like kind of a terrible period of time for buses, like in general. But this was a standout. And I think people also fondly remember this one as well. This one is Walter Alexander PS, but there was a Dupo Medsec counterpart as well. There was also OAC and uh, NAC. NAC means like non-aircon, like this one. OAC means aircon. So yeah, this one, because of its unique melodious ZF whine or howl, yeah, people really cared about this bus. And this one is my favorite. Now, objectively speaking, again, this bus is total crap, but I loved it. I love the W3E gearbox a lot. I used to take this a lot, like I mean a lot when I was young. Now, I'm not that old. I'm like I was born in 1999, but like, you know, there were just reasons in the past, like I just couldn't document them, but I wrote on them a lot. And yeah, when this bus was like nearing the end of lifespan, it got a lot of attention. And another special thing about this bus was that because all the W3Es, not all of them, but when they broke, there were no W3Es left in production. They had to replace them with VoIF. I'm not sure if it's 3.1.4 or 3.4.3. And some of them got replaced with ZF, which is exactly the same as the SMRT ones. But the growls on the SBS versions were more prominent because this one is a Mark 1. The SMRT ones, the Trans Island ones, which is now the SMRT ones, they were Mark 2. This one was from like 1990, 1992. I cannot remember the year. But the SMRT ones, they came later, like 1995 or something. I cannot remember. And because of this bus over here got oops. This bus over here got completely overshadowed. And 1688 also completely overshadowed this bus. It's quite sad because the attention just shifted all to one place and pretty much nobody even remembered this bus, even near like the end of lifespan. I mean, it was a training bus, but still, the fact that like everyone forgot about this bus is like, it's just sad. Oh my god. And like, I think this bus, okay, it was a 90s bus. It it was kind of problematic as well because buses in that era, they tend to be quite problematic. But I think this one deserves way more recognition than 1688. So if you go to YouTube, you type in the registration plate number of this bus, you would find a obscure video by this YouTube channel. And mind you, thank you so much, whoever you are. because this person is the only person that managed to get the doors closing chime of this bus on revenue service. So I'm not gonna say anything right now. I just want you guys to hear it. I'll play it. You see, the whole point is there is documentation, and I'm really thankful for that, whoever posted that video to YouTube. How many of you even knew this was the doors closing chime of this bus? And then for our double deckers, there was this one. This one got attention as well, for good reason. This was the very last non-air conditioned bus in Singapore. So my whole point is, why are you guys chasing this bus again and again and again every single damn day? Why? And why am I and a few others the only ones chasing these? Like this one and this one. You guys should be chasing these, not the stupid electric buses which have like 17 years of lifespan left. Or even fewer, because the bus is problematic. It's quite sad because like this is arguably, like, before 2016, with probably the exception of the silly B5LH, at least that one has character. Like, before 2016, this is like the last era of buses that was like decent. And you guys are like throwing it all away because you guys cannot seem to be bothered about these old buses, and you guys are like, oh my god, where is the BYD BC12A04? Where is the live location of this bus? I wanna hype it. Okay, so to be fair, if y'all are like full-time YouTubers or like using YouTube as a means of secondary income as well, and you kind of have to go for the debuts or like the end of lifespan things, that is completely fine. I'm not against it. But it's just sad that like nowadays, the shift from like really embracing and appreciating buses or even trains in general has gone to like, oh, which is the nearest which is like the rarest cameo, which is like the nicest photo on Instagram, which one has the most likes, and like which debut is more significant. And that's the reason why I kind of question whether these people, they are like, oh, buses are just a hobby for me, or, and that's fine also, but like the way these people like even phrase their stuff, it's quite fake. It's quite like pretentious and pompous, I feel. And it's kind of insulting to people who like really grew up with buses from a young age. They really appreciate the buses. They are there from start to end. Maybe not the start, but till the end, like, of the bus's lifespan. They really cherish the buses along the way, and it's not like, oh, I'm gonna wait till it's 16 or 17 years old and then I'm gonna like snap and film all of it. Now, I'm not blaming like anyone for like the lack of documentation of the buses in the past era, cause not everyone had the means to. And the bus community, it sort of like, how to say, more people started like getting into buses during the like Volvo B10M Mark IV era, the Volvo Olympian 3 axle era, maybe Scania L113 CRL, like the Walter Alexander Strider bodywork, that era. Oh yeah, and Dennis Lens as well, and the Benny buses. So yeah, at least there was like, some decent form of documentation, but I'm just like afraid if this trend of like, hyping a bus's debut, not carrying it for like 14 years and waiting till the 16th or 17th year, waiting all the way till the end to like document these buses. It repeats and repeats and repeats. And people will start to question whether you truly like buses. Again, I've said this many times, or you're just there for the Instagram or whatever social media clout that you have. So yeah, I mean like every KUB, every ride, every man bendy bus, I am cherishing them right now, like legit right now. How many of you are doing that? Or are you all gonna say stuff like, "Oh my god, man, you're a 6822895. It's so rare. Please tell me the live location."